I'm here with three-fifths of the SPIRE Academy Valorant roster who just recently won the University High School campus LAN in Hartford, Connecticut. So, guys, if we want to start going around the horn, I think we can maybe start with Leone. We can go from there.
Hello, my name is Leone. I am a junior at SPIRE Academy, and I am the IGL and Smokes player for SPIRE Valorant. The way I got picked up into SPIRE was I worked with the coach Jack Pennington and Title for around 6 months before on an online team developing high school players, and he happened to get hired to SPIRE, and that's how I'm here.
Gotcha. Are you a senior?
I'm a junior this
Junior.
year.
Okay,
Yep.
awesome. So how did you maybe fit into that IGL role?
Well, when I got first picked up, I was a duelist player, and to be honest, we were like, all right, anyone have any IGL experience? And I didn't really have much, but I IGL'd for like a really tiny team, and we went from there. Obviously, there's a lot of ups and downs. I'm still working on my calling as it is right now, but I'm happy to improve and be in a role where I can call for my team and put them in the best position to succeed.
Awesome. Yeah, I love that. And we can dive in a little more. Let's introduce some other players here. We've got Yuno. How you doing?
Doing good. My name is Derek or Yuno. I'm a junior, 16 years old, initiated player for Spire Academy. I got into esports by playing Fortnite like a couple of years ago, and then after that, it just kind of spiraled between different games. I played Apex for a bit, and that's how I met Alex or Ragu, who came here the year before, and then he told Rob about me, and then that's how the whole process of how I came here.
Gotcha. Awesome. And so you said you're initiator, right?
Yes,
So are you Phantom or Vandal, or does it vary on the map?
depends on the day. Depends on the
Okay,
day.
got you. What skin?
Gotta go Recon Phantom for Phantom always, but I switched to Vandal a lot.
Got
But
you.
Recon Phantom is always there for Vandal.
I'm an Oni guy. I'm sure that's a pretty popular choice along. But all right, and Avien, how we doing?
Yo, I'm Avien or Grant Robertson, Spire Academy. I kind of recently swapped to Valorant about a month or two ago. I used to play competitive Overwatch, and and swapped off of Overwatch 2 coming out and swapped into Valorant from there. And then from there, I went on the online team that is just high schoolers with Title or Jack Pennington. And then from there, I used that connection and come to Spire Academy through him being hired here.
Overwatch got you. What was your main?
Tracer, Genji, Flex DPS.
Gotcha. So still kind of that fast pace. You got to keep up with all the action. I'm sure Valorant transferred pretty easily there.
Yeah.
So let's talk about University High School LAN. How do you guys, obviously you performed well, but how do you guys think you did team wise throughout the entire event? And was it your first LAN competing together?
So for Spire Valorant, it was our first LAN competing together, and for me and I'm pretty sure a few other players on the team, it was our first LAN ever, outside of just not even just Spire Valorant. We do play in an environment, as you can see, we're in each other's backgrounds, so we're very used to this in-person camaraderie we have, constant fist bumping, keeping each other's positivity up. Obviously, we got to work on some mistakes, but, we keep a relatively positive mindset into our games. And the LAN was amazing, great experience. The trip was long, but it was definitely worth it.
Let's maybe go around individual performances of the event. I think one of the main storylines that I heard from, at least, was the calling. Like just hearing from our tournament operators, the calling you guys had was very quick, fast, and it seemed professional almost, is what they were saying. Like there was no hesitation in any of the calls. Do you guys want to talk on that for a little bit?
Well, to be fair, I have to give most of the calling credit not to me, but to my coach Jack. We have a in-depth strat book, and it's all these strats are pre-made. Obviously, it's my job to vary and use them when needed. But for the most part, it's seeing what the other team does and trying to set up my fraggers, my mechanical players to succeed. Obviously, we're gonna have to change around a few plays and have to make some calls on the fly, but it's mostly just setting up my other players for success.
For sure. And Avien, I know going into the match you were playing, or the grand final, sorry, you were playing against Pickerington, another Ohio school. Had you heard of them or played against them prior?
I've not heard about them when before going into the tournament, but at the tournament we had learned that they had played very well in HSCL the year before, so we understood going in that they were going to be probably the best team there besides us, and we went in with a good confident mentality and came out winners.
Gotcha. Yeah, and going into day one, you guys went undefeated through groups plays, right? 5-0. Was there any team that maybe kind of caught you off guard day one? You were thinking, okay, we got to come prepared next week or tomorrow in case we come up against them.
Honestly, no. I felt like when we went into it, we went in very confident. If you showed that we were playing confident and whatnot, we had a really good scoreline going into the game. I kind of went into it with no matter how strong a team came, we still have to stay positive, stay confident, just keep playing our own game to lead us to success, and that's what we did, and it worked.
For sure. Yeah, I love the confidence there. I mean, you got to go in with some level of confidence to be successful, right? And then Leone saw the little Mabu clip at the end. Was that was that in the van after the match? When was that?
So that was our pre-game hype day one.
Got you.
It will happen a lot. I promise. Maybe the artist will change. I had a few people saying, we don't like Lil Mabu, so we might adapt. I'm looking at Lil Tekka next time.
Okay.
We'll see though. Of course, we're gonna focus on our gameplay, and then we'll build into the funny hype moments afterwards as a team.
For sure. Got to keep it, a balance of professional, but have some fun at the same time.
Yeah.
So I think you guys have all commented that you've played outside of high school, right? You've played for other teams and professionally, semi-professionally to some extent. How does that scene shift in a high school environment, or does it at all? Anyone, feel free to chime in.
So for me and Grant, we played on a team called Premier Sports Academy. We got top 80 in VLR. We were all high school age, so relatively the age of the players didn't change for us, but we were competing against a lot of players that have been playing longer than we've even competing longer than we've been even playing the game. And there's definitely a lot of tougher matches there. We need to work on variations. We need to work on our composure as a team. There's going to be situations where they're mechanically better, so we have to work around that. As much as does the scene change, it does in a sense of how quick reactions are. And obviously there's levels of teams in HSEL and in tier 2 or tier 3, I mean. But for the most part, in a team environment, it didn't change much for us.
And then, could you walk me through like a day in the life at SPIRE Academy? I see it maybe as prep school might be the wrong term, but obviously like you're there for school, right? And some people have moved there from across the country. Just walk me through a day in the life.
Yeah, so day in the life for us, like esports, we kind of start classes a little bit later because we're up a little bit later practicing and whatnot. So we'll wake up around 9:30, go eat breakfast. Typically we eat breakfast, we eat together, and we go to classes and then go to lunch. Do a lot of stuff together. So we're at lunch together. Then after lunch, you have performance or you go work out and whatnot. We do that together. We practice together. We eat dinner together. We have a dorm room with each other as well. So a lot of stuff you do throughout the day is like together. It's very organized to help like us with education and playing the game like at a really well balance, as well as getting like active and eating right as well through Spire Fuel and whatnot.
Gotcha. Yeah. So it is really just like I'm speaking from personal experience. I competed playing Valorant, not near at the level that you guys are at, by the way. I was peak like diamond. I don't know why I was on the Valorant team in my college, but I played at Missouri Baptist University, and it was a very similar experience there. Avien, can you speak to maybe what you're expecting, because you're going into your senior year next year, right?
No, this is my senior year.
This is your senior. Okay, cool. Where were you prior?
Before this, I was at University of Detroit Jesuit. It's a private school in Detroit, and there I didn't compete on any high school team. Actually, not to lie, I played on my Overwatch team there, and we won a state championship in Michigan there. But I did not compete on their Valorant team whatsoever. For Valorant, once I swapped from Overwatch over to Valorant, I only played online, and I actually only played on Premier. Gotcha. Because that's the only team I was on for the period that I was playing the game.
Okay, and can you maybe speak to the different environment from your previous school now to Spire Academy?
The environment is definitely more built around us competing here. We're giving a lot more time to either work on our game, because we are given like much shorter class times, and overall like the amount of schooling we have to do is more built around like us in our sports. Our sport is like what we compete in, it seems to be first, while schooling is second. Like it is very important, but like also too, it's built around you having to play on your sport.
Yeah, no, I completely understand that. Like I said, it is kind of prepping you for that college environment. Let's swing into that a little bit. Do you have any plans for college at the moment? Are you open for anything? What's your expectations there?
Currently, I have offers, and I'm looking at them also, like seeing what my options are, because I just want to have all my options on the table for going into collegiate, see what the best school plus team that I can be on is to go into next year, because I believe that I can compete in that at a fairly high level.
Absolutely, yeah, and we're looking forward to seeing whatever decision you make. Let's swing over to Leone and Yuno, juniors at the moment. Next year, going into senior year, anything I guess your competition year isn't finished yet, so let's not jump too far ahead. What are you expecting for the rest of this year, and then your senior year, and then even next into college if you want to get into that?
So my personal take is this year is an improvement year for me and my teammates around me that aren't graduating. This is like a year for Spire as a whole. We're trying to just grow our Valorant community as much as possible and our team. Obviously we want to win and we want to play to the best of our ability. But we're gonna do our best to improve. So this year's an improvement year for me. I want to get into peak form for my senior year. I only have around 2 offers at the moment, so I'm really looking. I'm keeping all my options open, but mainly just focusing on improving as a player, and as a teammate for my teammates around me.
Yeah, similar case for me as well. A lot of this year and a little bit of next year as well will always be improvement. Trying to be the best like me I can be in game and out. Like same thing for Leone, have around like maybe 2 offers max. So it's like options are very open. I'm always gonna be looking around for colleges, doing research and whatnot, and I have the time to do so, and I try and do so and get a jump on it early this year, so I don't have to worry about it too much next year. So it's not all like piled up and stressed and whatnot.
Yeah, no, that's a good approach. What are you all thinking major wise? What do you want to study?
Uh, I'm looking at computer science and business. I definitely want to pursue a degree while competing. Um, and yeah, that's my take on it. I'm not decided on what major, but that's the areas I'm looking into.
My major that I want to go into is earth sciences, and I'm very interested in specific classes in earth science to study into the meteorology role. I've always been interested in weather since I was a little kid, and as I've grown up, I've studied more and more into it, but I'd like to go to school to actually properly study it, take the proper classes needed, and if it comes to it, become a meteorologist in the future. It's the biggest interest of mine.
Currently, I'm looking into getting a business degree because it's a very applicable degree to what I want to do in the future, and it has a wider range of schools that have very good business classes in it, so it leaves my offers open more.
Definitely, yeah, and maybe you need to switch over to Apex if you're a meteorologist. You can predict those storms a little bit, maybe. No. Sorry,
Actually, I used to compete in Apex before I like played Valorant. So
there we go. There we go. I had to get my dad joke in there. My bad. All right, let's swing over and let's talk about Stay Plugged In Coca-Cola All-Stars. Obviously, we launched this campaign August 22nd. The first year we're doing this, super, super excited, and we're coming to the end of it. How did you guys discover Spin Coca-Cola All-Stars? How did you guys discover Spin? Each of you want to chime in there?
So I discovered Spin through my coach Jack, and the All-Star thing, he reached out to me and also all the other players on our team, and he was like, let's look into this. This is a good opportunity, not just for this year or like your player resume, but as esports as a whole. I'm really excited that Spin is like really pressing more high school esports events, because I definitely think that it's a scene that has potential. I do really think the All Stars is good for growing and investing in your collegiate career. If you want to pursue past collegiate that career as well, it gives you a lot of bigger platform to work with. It helps support players, and even if you haven't been in Spin events for a long time, you can still, if you're good enough and if you think you have potential and you want to invest in yourself, this is a very good way to do it.
Absolutely, yeah, and I think you hit the nail on the head there. The biggest thing we wanted to kind of express is that you don't necessarily have to be peak competition to apply or even nominate yourself, and that's where nominating yourself and having someone nominate you comes into play. You do look at the intangibles. We are going to look at school performance, extracurriculars, anything like that, and so we're looking to give students the best platform they can to present themselves in front of colleges and kind of suit both parties a little bit. And that being said, we do have a lot of announcements coming up soon. I know we just announced Hercules on the Rocket League side will be hosting the Spin Coca-Cola All-Stars weekend. We've got some names coming out soon, hopefully, on the Valorant side, as well as the skills competitions and all that format being revealed. And a lot of swag. We're working out the finer details right now on the gift packages and the care packages, stuff like that we're going to be releasing. So I hope you guys are excited to see that. I want to get to know you guys maybe from each other. I'll clarify here in a second. Could you guys go around and maybe give one quality of each other, like game style, maybe schoolwork, something like that, that maybe presents them as a good candidate to be a Coca-Cola All-Star?
For Grant, and I'll do one for Grant and for Yuno. He's very focused on he can understand the feelings of the people around him, which is important in a team environment. If his teammates down, he realizes that and he wants to pick them up. For Grant, he's very analytical. He knows micro very well, and he knows when a mistake is made and to change it. And he's very good at that. Very analytical.
I'll do one for Landon again as well. For Landon or Leone, I'm sorry. For Leone, I'll say his like biggest trait in my opinion is just he's really easy to like talk to. So it's like if you want to go to somebody and like just talk to him about anything, he's really easy to just like sit down with and talk to. He's really chill. He's understanding as well, which is really great. And for Grant, I would say he's very determined, which I think is great. He's very determined to push to himself to the best he can be. So all he's doing is whatever it takes to do the outside research, extra game time. I mean, he wakes up early in the morning before classes to get some ranked games in, and he still eats breakfast, goes to class, still practices, still plays at night, still goes to sleep and repeats. It's a lot of dedication, and I respect that out of him.
Landon is a very talkative and bubbly person, which is very nice because I'm very quiet. So that's very nice to be around him, so I don't have to do the talking. And then Derek, don't laugh. And then Derek, you're like almost the same thing, but it's like really good too because you're also like extra funny on top of that. So like it's nice. Like sometimes you can be like nice comedic relief. I can like don't want to talk. So it's very nice to be around both of you.
That's awesome. Yeah, I definitely got the bubbly personality from the Mabu. I could see that. So now give yourselves a little platform. What do you think is your best trait, and what's something you think you can work on as a student, as a in-game performer?
For me, I think my biggest asset is my calling. I'm very a team-oriented person. I want to set up people that are good enough and have potential, that respect me and I respect them, to be in the best spot possible. So if I'm calling something, like if I call something built around Derek succeeding, I expect him to succeed and he expects my plan to work, and it's a good team environment we have. One thing I think I do need to work on as a person is I do put in extra time, but I think there's always more. There's always more I can put in. I need to have like almost an obsession for the game. Obviously not unhealthy, but I need to just like any time I have, I need to be investing into the game and improving as a player.
I'll say my like standout trait is I guess I'll say I quick I picked up to this point. I have the least amount of like game time compared to anybody here. I have been playing the same for less than a year, and I've kind of caught up to the level I'm at now. And I guess something I want to work on is similar to what Landon said. Since I am like very far behind in terms of like play time for the game, I should be putting in as much work as I can be. Not to an unhealthy amount, but I do need to work to be better as much as I can because I do lack experience that some people in the scene have, and I won't be able to get to that point without getting myself into it and giving myself the experience needed to succeed.
I think my best trait is definitely my ability to learn. I pick up stuff very fast and I learn it because I put a lot of effort into like figuring out like initial like interactions. Like for example, I pick up a character, like I put a lot of effort into like watching video of how to play the character and like putting time in like server on how to play the character. And it doesn't take me too long to like learn something like that and like pick up on something. I think my biggest thing besides that though is my ability to take criticism. My mental does not get affected by almost anything when it comes to competing. Ranked is a different story, but besides that, like I'm very strong, like mentality wise.
We all get those rank trolls. We've all been there. Insta-lock Reyna's ruined everyone's game.
In the queues.
I get it. Well, hey, so we're nearing the end of the interview. If you guys want to shout out if you're making content on TikTok, YouTube, Twitch, any personal brands, and then of course SPIRE Academy. What do you guys have coming up competition wise?
I post on Twitter. I'm gonna be more active on Twitter at Leone FPS _. My Valorant is Leone FPS on YouTube, and I do stream on Twitch a little bit, but that's Leone Val. I don't stream too much, but I'm gonna have more time now. I will put into streaming soon. And SPIRE, I don't really know exactly. We're gonna be in the November Spin Showcase event. It's probably the next Spin event we'll have, but I think Jack will know more about that.
So I am fairly active on Twitter. My ad is Yuno Ames, a capital Y and a capital A. I also stream very often on Twitch. It's Yuno FPS _. And I post TikToks occasionally, nothing too crazy, but I am on there too. I think that's also Yuno FPS.
Definitely for me, my Twitter, I am very active at scrolling Twitter, and I like looking at my follower count increase. It's Avien VA on Twitter. I like that a lot. And then Twitch, sometimes I stream, sometimes I don't. I should probably get into doing it more, but I would only do it when I Q ranked, and whenever I Q ranked that, I'd think about it. If I think about it, I do it. If I don't think about it, I just definitely Twitter.
Gotcha. Awesome. Well, is there anything else you guys wanted to touch on as far as competition wise or what you guys are doing?
We're hoping to succeed and do our best, and we're glad that Spin is putting so much effort into the All-Star program.
We are looking for the best high school Rocket League and Valorant players from across the country. Is it you? Nominate yourself or a friend to be a 2023 Stay Plugged In Coca-Cola All-Star today.